I'm upset. No disrespect, respectfully. But disrespectfully, it's disrespect. Don't be disrespectful. Those vile, disgusting Spartans. Poor little bro, them. And I'ma tell them where I'm at. That vile, disgusting cesspool in Columbus. The other state, and of course, as always, I'm upset. Good evening, good people. It is I, the Maze Madman. I'm here with my guy,
the Maniac.
And of course, we got a great show lined up today. We got an absolute legend, a Michigan football legend, a legend in life. One Mr. Dr. Billy Taylor. And without any further ado, first of all, before I introduce, let me give him a proper introduction. All right. This is a two-time All Big Ten first team, two-time All Big Ten first team running back, All-American running back, one of the legendary Mellow Men of Michigan football, legendary class of 68, I believe, with 7 other African-American players, the biggest African-American recruiting class of that time, I believe. He'll correct me if I'm wrong, but also started the legendary Mellow Men Den. We'll get into that as well. Just a community activist, just an all-around great person. One Dr. Billy Taylor. Let's bring him on for you guys right now. Dr. Taylor, how you feeling?
Hey, I'm great, man. Thanks for having me on your show.
No doubt. Dr. Taylor, I spoke to you when setting this up. I got a gift for you. I'm going to play it. Here we go.
Okay. You will. Wide to the right is Bo Rather. It's Taylor deep and Seifert close. Larry Sippa under center in a balanced line. Sippa rolls out to the right. Pitches off to Taylor, and Taylor's to the 20. Down to the 15, down to the 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Touchdown, Billy Taylor! Touchdown, Billy Taylor! Billy Taylor scored a touchdown from 21 yards out. The crowd goes berserk. Michigan leads 9-7. Old man Euchre's been broadcasting for 27 years. I have never seen anything like this. 30.
Touchdown, Billy Taylor. How you feeling, sir?
Hey, I'm great, man. I get pumped up all these years later, whenever I hear that famous Bob Euchre broadcast.
Yes, sir. And he did an excellent job. That raw emotion that, he expressed over that broadcast was excellent, man. That was a great call. By the way, Mr. Taylor, we are going to, try to get through as much as we can with you. Talk about your early life, talk about that great college career, the Mellow Men. Of course, you went through some tragedy. We'll get, as much as you want to talk about that. And of course, get back up, right? The bounce back. And we'll definitely talk about that. Okay. But starting off with your early life, Maniac, I'm gonna let you take this one away.
Yeah. So Doc, man, we know you was born in Arkansas, right? You lived in Memphis for a little while, and then you guys, with your mother, you guys moved to Barberton, Ohio. Did I say that right?
Well, actually, I was born in a little small town in Arkansas called Hoxie on my grandmother's sofa. Not in a hospital,
Right.
So rough beginning early on, but all is well that ends well. And then we were living in Memphis, Tennessee. My dad was working railroad, so he was away. Mom went to Arkansas to be with her mother, my grandmother, Georgia Wells, and so she'd have help with the baby. And soon after birth, we went back to our home in Memphis. And at age 5, my dad passed. And that's when we moved to Barberton, Ohio.
Okay. So when, now you guys in Ohio, how was it growing up over there in Barberton, Ohio? How did you become in love with the sport of football?
Well, we lived in the South Barberton, south of a street called Snyder. So our community, primarily black at that time, was called Snydertown. And grew up. We didn't have a lot financially. I was never hungry. Mama took care of that. I'm the youngest of seven, and as I tell my brothers, I'm the youngest, the biggest, and the handsomest. But they didn't particularly believe that. But anyway, uh, but when you are poor and people around you are poor, you don't know you're poor. So financially, we didn't have much, but we had a lot of love, and a mother that was mother and father to me and my three other brothers and three other sisters. And our focus was, not drinking and using drugs and getting good grades. And in middle school, actually in elementary, I started playing football. It
Hmm.
was six-man football in fifth and sixth grade, and then in middle school, I was a fullback and a linebacker, and in high school, a halfback. But I only played. I played as a sophomore in Barberton at Barberton High School, and I dressed out with the varsity. But my junior year, I didn't play any sports at all. My mom was concerned about me getting hurt in football, and being the youngest of seven, she would always say, "I don't. I want you to be able to graduate from high school. Don't get all broken up," as she would put it, and so you can get a decent job. So I didn't play my junior year, and the coaches were upset, even the mayor and the superintendent of schools and everybody, because I had shown as a sophomore that, I had some ability.
Right.
Uh, but finally, during the summer, uh, well, just before football practice started my senior year, everybody was talking to my mom, Mrs. Taylor, let your son play. He's a great player and blah blah. But she wasn't listening to any of that. Like I say, the mayor of Barberton at that time, the principal at the high school coaches, people in the neighborhood, and finally, I knew I could get a scholarship, and people were telling me that. So um, I went to my mother uh, the first day of preseason practice, my senior year in high school, and I just said, "Mama, I'm going to play football." And it took a lot of courage to do that, to say that to my mother. And she was very silent, and she turned and she looked at me, and I didn't know what she was going to say, but she said, "Boy, do you want to play that bad?" And I said, "Yes, I do." I said, "And I can earn a scholarship. I know it." And she says, "Okay, you go ahead, but don't you dare get hurt." So I called the coach, and it was like, skirt, he was in front of the house like in 5 minutes. And
Right.
uh, and I went down for practice, and I had a great senior year. Barberton High School, we were the Magics, purple and white.
Nice.
So I had a great year, and I had like over 50, I think it was 57 full scholarship
Wow.
offers from around the country. I kept all my letters in a big shoebox.
Yeah.
So uh, things worked out very, very well. And obviously, I selected Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State, Notre Dame, the uh, uh, all the schools all across the country in different conferences were, offered me scholarships, but I picked the University of Michigan.
Yes, sir. Speaking of that, right? Getting all those offers and picking Michigan. How was the recruiting process back then? How did schools, how did schools know about you and stuff like that in that age?
Well, far as I know, I was in the newspapers a lot, the local
Hmm.
papers, and Akron and Barberton, Cleveland, and and coaches did scouting, from different colleges and universities. They would have local alumni and send their coaches if they were really interested,
Right.
to watch you play and all of that. So I had, and then I was offered trips to visit various
Okay.
schools, and after about 7 or 8 schools that I visited, it was starting to get kind of tiresome, because Friday after class, I would, somebody would take me to the airport and I'd fly to somewhere, Pennsylvania or out on the West Coast, Southern Cal or something. And, you do that every weekend and it got kind of boring. But uh, Woody Hayes come to my house. Because Barberton is about 100 miles from Columbus. And so I gave that school serious consideration. And, Bump Elliott was the head coach at Michigan. So after about a month or so, I narrowed it down to Michigan and Ohio State. And also out east, Ed Marinero, where did he go to? Cornell. I really liked Cornell. I think that's in Ithaca, but Ithaca, New York.
Yes.
But they didn't offer. Well, I would be scholarship, but they had stipends. I think that's what they called it, and
Hmm.
that was renewable each semester. Well, all the other schools were offering me full scholarships, room, board, books, tuition.
Right.
And we that was the only way I was going to college was on an athletic scholarship. Maybe I could have got in on academics, but the athletic scholarships were there, and they were guaranteeing me room, board, books, tuition, and if I got hurt, I would still have my scholarship. So Cornell, they didn't offer those type of scholarships. It was renewable, and me and my mother said, no, we better go with the sure bet. But
Yeah.
by then, I had narrowed it down, and I considered Syracuse because Jim Brown
Jim
to
Brown.
me was the greatest running back of all times, and you know, I followed his career.
Right.
But I wound up at Michigan, and I have no regrets.
Yes, sir. Real quick, a follow up to that. Was there any? What was the backlash like, or was there any with you choosing Michigan over Woody Hayes in the other state?
Well, a lot of local people in Ohio. I don't know how much you guys know about Ohio, but
I'm from Dayton myself,
okay,
so
well,
yeah.
the Buckeyes, that's a
Right.
football powerhouse, and most people in Ohio are Buckeye fans,
Right.
and I watch them play a lot.
Oh,
All right, we lost Mr. Taylor shortly, but people in the chat, get your questions ready. If you have any questions for Dr. Taylor, once we get them back, we'll go
there
to you
you
guys eventually. All right,
I'm
Dr. Taylor.
I'm back,
Yes,
but
sir.
in Ohio, most people are Buckeye fans, and a lot of people wanted me to go to Ohio State. So, but when I picked Michigan, hey, I went to Michigan. Bump Elliott was a total gentleman, and he came down and visited. My mom really liked him. Woody came a couple of times, drove up to Barberton from Columbus, and we were sitting in the living room talking, and he was just football talk. He was like, Billy, you should have been at practice because I had came down as a recruit and had other times just for a weekend,
Mhm.
and he said, Billy, you should have been at practice. It was a hell of a practice. And my mom, I grew up in a strong Christian home. And my
Right.
mom, he couldn't see her. She was sitting across from us. And hey, she just was shaking her head. And I knew then I was not going to Ohio State. it, wa-
Thank
it was
mama. Thank mama.
it was just football talk. He said a hell of a practice, but oh no, and
Right.
and Bump was totally different. So uh,
Right.
yeah, that was funny. I tell people. coaches, whatever, recruit the mothers. You got an
Mm,
athlete you want, and you like, recruit mom, because it's hard for a young man to go against mother. You know, mother wants you to go here, and chances are that's where you're gonna go.
that's a fact. That's a fact. That's
Yeah.
a great advice, by the way.
So
Dr. Taylor, go ahead, Maniac.
yeah, so now now you're in college, man. Let's just start a little bit with your freshman season. You get into Ann Arbor. How was the love there? How was the city treated you? The restaurants everywhere you went. How was it when you first got to Ann Arbor?
Well, I'm dating myself. I came to Michigan my freshman year in 1968, and I'm one of seven men, seven Afro American scholarship athletes, which at that time was the largest number of black scholarship athletes to ever come to Michigan at one time.
Nice.
Uh, as coming up to as a recruit, I remember it was like four or five black guys on the team, but they were in different classes. They didn't come at the same time. So we kind of opened the door. And, you look at Michigan now, probably half the team is black
Yeah.
and across the country, you know what I'm saying? But at 68 and 68, the seven of us, it was kind of a culture shock, I think, to alumni and people to see this number of black athletes. And we had mentors, Sam Carpenter, Mr. Dowdy, Mr. Darden, but uh, they were telling us that we were going to be special and that we had to focus on good grades and make sure we played good football, but make sure we graduated. And we all graduated, on time. But we became known as the Mellow Men and at Michigan. And out of the seven of us, six were all American. I think all of us were all Big Ten players. We had won two Big Ten championships, went to two Rose Bowls. We were undefeated my senior year. I was blessed, as you open your show, to score the winning touchdown. That was my last offensive play in Michigan Stadium to beat Ohio State. Gave us an undefeated season. So I think we finished number two or three in the country, but I'm not sure. It's been a long time, but just a great career at Michigan. And I might add that the house that we lived in, we were advised to stick together. So after our sophomore year, we rented a house on campus at 1345 Gettys Road. And
Mhm.
it was called the Den of the Mellow Men. So we didn't fight. We got good grades. We all lived together, and and it was a good time. And in April of this year, I call him my son, but Mayor Taylor of Ann Arbor wrote a proclamation that made 1345 Gettys Road a designated historical site in the state of Michigan, and with a monument plaque uh, mounted in front of the house where people can read the proclamation, see our pictures. But I'd like to name off my roommates, the
Yeah.
seven of us,
Yes, sir.
and we were. I think everybody was drafted, but Glenn Dowdy, Tom Darden, Reggie McKenzie, Mike Taylor, Mike Oldham, Butch Carpenter, and myself, Bill Taylor. And we were the Mellow Men, and we still are, of Michigan. We've lost Butch Carpenter back in the late '70s, and the six of us are still here, and you know, happy to be here.
No.
Absolutely. We're happy to have you guys. And that's, that's huge. You guys, you know, made history.
Yeah, Trump.
Definitely.
You guys
Absolutely.
kicked the door down for what a lot of these players are there now, man. So that's appreciated, man. And that couldn't be an easy transition. I know it was tough in many ways, but you guys stuck it out, and y'all stuck together. More importantly, y'all became a brotherhood, and I'm pretty sure that's what kept you guys going, man. So, man, shout to you and your teammates for doing that, man, because look what Michigan has become since then.
Absolutely.
Exactly. The I think Michigan was losing maybe 4 or 5 games quite often prior to our arrival, and that started a new era really of Michigan football, and we are just happy to uh, be the OGs and uh, laid uh, the groundwork for how Michigan is and what Michigan is today. Michigan's always been a great school, don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but we definitely made an impact, and not just on the field, but
Oh,
off the field. Because
oh,
out of all of us, we started businesses and organizations that are still going on today. Helping people in the community. Um, just That's just who and what we are. And it was just a blessing. It was a God thing that brought us all together at that place at that time,
yeah,
because we didn't know each other, you know, during K through 12, but during the recruiting season, a few of us bumped into one another, but, we all signed scholarships and came to Michigan at the same time. And we came and we made an impact, and we're part of Michigan history. We're all very proud of that.
That's
no,
great.
no, definitely. And not only you made an impact as well, but when you left Michigan, you at the time you left as the leading all-time rusher at Michigan, right? And on top of that, um, averaging the most yards rushing per game at 102 yards. It was later broken by Mike Hart years ago. So, I mean, you're a true legend
Well,
on
thank
and
you.
off the field. So,
I appreciate that.
no,
Yeah,
man,
when I left Michigan, I become the all-time leading ground gainer in the history of the school,
yes,
Mhm.
and I was very proud of that. And as you mentioned, averaging over 100 yards, for my career, it was a great experience. We all, the Mellow Men, are true blue. You know, Michigan guys now and forever. Looking forward to this season to continue kicking butt.
yeah,
But
Absolutely.
I will say that uh, there are a lot of things happening with the Mellow Men these days. Like I say, the designated historical site. We're going to be introduced on the field um October 4th for homecoming against Wisconsin.
oh, nice,
Nice.
So tune in and be there if you can.
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
we say the Mellow Men that we are unmatched,
facts.
on and off the field,
No
and
doubt.
we're just happy about our legacy, happy about our contribution, and happy to be Wolverines.
Yes, sir. Really quick. Your niece is here apparently. She says that's my uncle, Dr. Billy Taylor. Um,
Okay,
so shout out
which
to that.
one?
We got
Which one of my nieces? I have several.
I'm sure. I don't know which one it is, but
Okay.
shout out to her. If you want to let us know who you are, go ahead. We also got a couple questions from the chat that I want to get to. Brett Sullivan asks, "What was it like playing for Coach Bo Schembechler?"
Okay. Challenging.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It was rough. It was tough. We were the Mellow Men. We were the first uh, group that Bo was our coach. The first team that Bo coached at Michigan included us. That was in 1969. And dating myself because in '68 freshmen couldn't play varsity football.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, I'm really dating myself. I always say I'm 39 and holding, but I got a jacket or two that old, you know.
Right.
But everything still works, so I'm blessed, you know. But so freshmen couldn't play, so we're not in the record books, you know, at that time. And then in '69, and Bump Elliott was the head coach.
Hmm.
That's who we came to Michigan for. We thought we were going to play for Bump, but after our freshman year, uh, Bump resigned and Bo Schembechler became Michigan's head coach in '69. So we were on the first team that he ever coached at Michigan. The Mellow Men were the nucleus. And, you know, we had a lot of great players. It's the team, the team, the team.
Right.
But we all contributed and you know, made a difference. But Bo, uh, he was tough. I mean, in the beginning, I think he came with a chip on his shoulder. I remember he was saying, you know, the people here can't even pronounce my name. They were saying Shimmy Wrecker, Shimmy this and that.
Right.
But he came from a mid-American school, and he's now in the Big Ten, and so he pushed us very, very hard. I mean,
Mm.
we lost a lot of players. Many were upperclassmen, you know, juniors and seniors. They just couldn't take the practice, you know. And I think we, as sophomores, you know, we didn't know. We thought maybe that's what it took to play in the Big Ten, you know.
Right.
But he pushed us very hard. We didn't like it. You know, we talked about him, not to his face, and not to his
Of
face, of
course.
course.
Right.
You know, but once the season started, uh, the games, you know, I remember us talking, and we were getting hit harder in practice than we were playing against Big Ten schools.
Wow.
You
Right.
know, yeah, and but the hard practices, the discipline, and everything that he demanded, uh, we saw by mid-season for sure that that's how you become a champion.
Right.
That's how you win. You know, you practice hard, you play hard, you hit, you know, and believe you're going to win. You know, but we all realized by mid-season that hey, you know, this guy know what he's doing, and we were rolling over people.
Right.
So, but yeah, we didn't like him at first, but of course, by the time the season was over, everybody loved and respected him.
No doubt. One final question before we finish up with our questions. My guy E says, what does your degree from Michigan mean to you?
Oh wow, it's been everything, especially personally. My mom died my senior year, uh, you know, at Michigan, and my dad passed when I was 5, and she was my everything. And I looked forward to a professional career, and I was going to build a house and make sure she never had to worry, uh, you know, about anything. But I went into this depression, downward, and drinking and getting high and hanging with the wrong people, getting arrested, and I just lost it, you know. Um, but thank God, August 17th of this year will be 28 years for me without a drink, drug, or a cigarette. But
Congratulations.
Beautiful.
yeah, but once I got it together, after all of those years of dealing with substance abuse and alcoholism, um, I realized that uh, I had lost, in my opinion, respect from a lot of people, and you know, and my reputation I felt had been tarnished. So I realized that if I went back to school and got that doctorate degree, you know, with that comes a lot of respect, you know, and it was definitely the right decision. And with that degree, you know, I was able to reestablish myself, in the community, um, and start my own business and just thrive. I've been really blessed. I tell people that August 17th of this year will be 28 years without using anything, and in 28 years, I have not had a bad day. I'm not saying that I haven't had days where employees didn't do what they were supposed to do, or days I got cold. I did dress warm enough and got caught out in the weather. Some days I got wet from rain or whatever. Or somebody else said or did something that was uh, gave me a headache. But those aren't bad days. That's just life. A bad
Yes, sir.
day is being homeless, being arrested, being in jail, being jobless, being broke. Those are bad days. So I haven't had a bad day in almost 28 years.
That's amazing. You're a true testament to the community, and a real Michigan man. Your story, I think, like your niece brought up in the chat, your story should be a movie. No doubt about it.
Well,
No,
I don't know if you know, but there was a documentary film based on my life story called
Perseverance.
Perseverance, the
Yes,
story
sir.
of Dr. Billy Taylor. And it aired on the Big Ten Network for a little over a year. I think they showed it once or twice a month. And also, there's a screenplay that has been written
Okay.
based on my life story, my book entitled The Long Way Home. And so I'm working now to uh, to get it produced and brought to the big screen.
Absolutely. Go ahead, Maniac.
no, I mean, you know what you went through, um, Doc, is I have family members that weren't as fortunate as you. They went down that deep hole and there was no coming back, right?
That
So
happens way too often, but go
yes,
ahead.
yeah, and you were for someone who, I mean, tragedy after tragedy. Your mom's, the situation with your uncle, with your aunt, your girlfriend, like it was all back to back, and then you get drafted during that time. I know mentally that had to be tough. I know my mind would not been focused on football.
Yeah, I
I know
was.
that was the reason why maybe it didn't pan out for you in the NFL. Was that kind of the reason, Doc?
Yeah, I was. I was. My senior year, after my second Rose Bowl, on January 1st. On January 4th, my mom died suddenly of a heart attack, and then that really knocked me for a loop. I just totally lost focus. And then in June, my mom's brother, my uncle, shot and killed my aunt and killed himself. And then in September, the girl that I was dating was brutally stabbed to death. So all
Hmm.
of this happened in 9 months, my senior year. And you're right, my focus was gone. I didn't even know that I had been drafted fifth round, fifth pick by the Atlanta Falcons to about a week or more after the draft. You
Wow.
know, yeah, and I carried that sadness, that depression, into training camp. I wasn't focused. I bounced around the league for like 3 years, in a couple of preseason games in the NFL, but I didn't care. I only went to camp to make some money.
Right.
I was never, I never was focused on like I had always been. And if you're gonna play at that level, you gotta be in shape, you gotta be mentally and physically ready to compete. And I wasn't.
Yeah.
But I really don't have any regrets because all is well that ends well. Life just took a different course for me. But my roommates, many of them went on to have great careers, successful careers, and I'm happy for them. We're still the Mellow Men after all of these years. We're still close. We talk a lot, and we realized that we were unmatched uh, on campus and after college.
Yes, sir. Really quick. Yeah. Yeah. Your niece says, read the book. Everybody out there, go get the book, Perseverance. By the way, she says this is your oldest niece, Val Jackson. So shout out to
Yeah,
Val
that's
Jackson.
my girl. Yeah, my brother Jim. God bless him. I asked people to say some prayers for my brother.
Yes, sir.
He's been ill lately, and
Oh,
he's 86 years old. But yeah, Valerie, Vicky, and Erica. God bless you. I love you. They know that we communicate regularly. Those are my brother's daughters, and then my sister Juanita. She has Marie. And my other sister Lucille. She has Darlene. So hopefully all of them are listening, and they know that Uncle Bill loves them.
yes.
Yes, sir. We'll keep your brother in our thoughts and prayers as well.
Okay.
Um, Doctor Taylor, let's talk about the get back. All right, we went down, some tragedy for you. We talked about your college career, your upbringing. Let's talk about you bouncing back after. And by the way, legendary coach Bo Schembechler, from my understanding, was there when you with you when you went into he made the ride with you to prison, I believe,
Right.
and helped you afterwards to get your doctorate. Or am I getting that wrong?
Yeah. No. Both stuck with me. He and Sam Carpenter, one of my roommates and teammates, father. Uh, Flew out with me
Hmm.
to Wisconsin, Oxford FCI, and I reported on my own recognizance. And Bo was saying, "Watch your back. People know who you are." And he was right about that. I had to throw down quite a bit, but I came out on top. Thank God.
Yes,
And
sir.
folks wanted me to play football. They had a flag football in the prison. And uh, I didn't want to play, at that level. I mean, I played college and some pro ball, and I wasn't going to be out there doing that.
Right.
But then people started, calling me some names like, and I can't repeat it on air. So
Yeah.
I said, okay. So I went out and I asked the QB to, pitch me the ball. So some of the guys that was talking the most trash, I just ran. Like a sweep, and then I just stopped and ran right into him, knocked him down, and I started, pounding on that, and
Right.
so after that, I didn't have a problem because I, I knew that, in there, hey, it's like, you know, dog eat dog, so to speak, but if,
Right.
if you come across as weak, then you got a real big problem. So
Absolutely.
I knew what was going to happen eventually, after I went in. And then once that happened, I kind of had a little reputation. So, I didn't have that problem anymore.
Right.
But it was also during that time that I stayed in touch with Coach Schembechler. And we consider ourselves as Bo's gridiron sons, the Mellow Men,
Right.
and he helped me connect with the Graduate School of Education. And I spent a year out there. That was the maximum security place. And I'm transferred to Milan, Michigan. And I was had a scholarship, and I started working on my master's degree in educational leadership. And Warden Hanbury was the warden at that time, and he said I was the first federal inmate to begin and complete a master's degree, a graduate degree, while serving some Fed time. So I was totally 30 months, 2.5 years, uh, and during that time, I did the time. I didn't let the time do me. I took people's advice, and I got that master's degree, all A's and one B, by the way.
Very
Hey.
nice. Very nice.
Yeah, I had transferred to Ann Arbor, so I was out a lot the last year,
Hmm.
going back and forth to campus. They had a work study van that would drop you off, and in the evening pick you up, and you go back. And I want to give a shout out to Dr. Charles Moody's. family, his sons. I don't know if they're listening, but Dr. Moody gave me a job, and he was running the program for educational opportunity at Michigan. So, while serving that time, the last year, the year 1 year was in max security at Wisconsin. The last year and a half, most of the time I was going out 3 times a week for
Hmm.
classes and study time. And then I worked in the graduate school of education and, starting to get my life back together. And um, it, it was a lot different than the first year. I'll put it like that.
For
So
sure.
I began and completed my master's degree at Michigan, and I left out and got engaged and got married, and I'm divorced now. But after 20 years of marriage, and 2 sons and a daughter, and all is well.
Yes, sir. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good, Maniac.
Yeah, so then so tell us about that August 17, 1997.
Oh yeah. I was still going through my addiction. I was drinking and getting high every day, dealing with the depression. And depression is a terrible, terrible thing because behind all the tragedies, you know, uh, I tried to find relief in drugs and alcohol, and that's the wrong thing to do. But I wound up living on the streets of Detroit for over 2 years, homeless,
Hmm.
vacant houses, abandoned cars, you name it. And I was bearded, and I got down to about 165 pounds. I walked 10 or 15 miles a day, cut grass, shovel snow, paint, whatever I could do to hustle, make a few dollars. And I was incognito, so to speak. Like nobody knew I was Billy Taylor, All American at Michigan, or that, I had graduate degree. And so I know what that lifestyle is like. And that's why I have a place in my heart for the disabled, for the hungry, the homeless. But August 17th of 97, I always, back a minute, always hustled to have a little bit of alcohol. So when I did sleep, when I woke up in the morning, I have a little bit to drink, and that would, get me started on my daily hustle. But as I turned the bottle up, it was just barely daylight, and I heard a voice as clear as we're talking. 4 words, William Taylor, come forth. And it scared me to death. I was sitting on the second step, and I jumped straight up in the air. I dropped the liquor on the cement. It burst. I started cursing and running around this vacant building on the east side there, Detroit, looking for whoever it was that yelled at me that scared me so much because I was going to deal with them. But by the time I circled that building, there was no one there. It was barely daylight, and I started to look upward, and like, my God, is that you? And until my book was published, I never told anybody about that experience. That was August 17th of 97. So I'm a teacher, not a preacher, but I know that there is a God. There are heavenly bodies, there are angels, there's something, someone, some entity greater than us,
Hmm.
in the universe. And I know that from personal experience. That was August 17th of 1997. And the testimony is, and the proof is, I haven't had a drink, drug, or a cigarette since that day. And this August 17th, amen, will be 28 years, you know. Uh, so that's that day my life changed. And I want to mention my sister. We're brothers and sisters from different mothers, Miss Cheryl Carson. She
Hmm.
hired me that same day as a direct care worker in adult foster care. And we literally talk every day for all of these years. Every morning, 6 or 7 a.m. we talk. How you
Right.
doing? What's going on? What you up to today? And you know, she can say anything to me, and she does. And I can say anything to her.
Right.
I tell her she's Detroit's undercover mother. So, but that's my sister. That's my best friend.
No doubt. Dr. Taylor, your story is a great one. It's a beautiful one. One of triumph and prosperity and tragedy, and perseverance. Right. It's a perfect word to use for you and your story. I want to give you this time to talk about get back up, and the things that you're working on, and your community work.
Well, I'm the founder, president, CEO of Get Back Up Incorporated, and the organization still exists.
Hmm.
There has been some changes because it's a one man show now, but I have had as many as 28 employees
Hmm.
and offering residential and outpatient drug treatment. It was my way of giving back. But COVID pretty much destroyed business, and I've had to shut down a year and a half ago. Um, but I have been blessed to be able to help a lot of recovering addicts and alcoholics in the city. And it's such a blessing because a few of them still will text me or call and thank me, Dr. Taylor, thank you so much, for helping changing my life. And they still are clean and sober. And that means a lot to me. But that's what I have been doing for all of these years. And now I'm in what I call my transitional years, where I stay plugged in. I stay active. I got different projects and things that I'm working on,
Hmm.
because at least back in the days, people used to work 30, 40 years and retire, come home and just sit around, and the research will show that organs start to shut down. Your brain, your lungs, your kidneys,
Hmm.
heart, and all of that. And next thing you know, a year or two after retirement, they're gone. Well, I said I'll never retire. By that I mean not in a traditional way. I
Right.
just stay active, change the game, do different things, and I've been really blessed. So God is good. I can pretty much do what I want to do and don't do what I don't want to do. Thank
Right.
God.
Yes, sir. Dr. Billy Taylor, ladies and gentlemen, an absolute Michigan legend. And before we get you out of here, one more time, with Touchdown Billy.
Call it what you will. Wide to the right is Bo Rather. It's Taylor deep and Cypress close. Larry Sippa under center in a balanced line. Sippa rolls out to the right. Pitches off to Taylor, and Taylor's to the 20. Down to the 15, down to 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Touchdown, Billy Taylor! Touchdown, Billy Taylor! Billy Taylor scored a touchdown from 21 yards out. The crowd goes berserk. Michigan leads 9-7. Old Man Euchre's been broadcasting for 27 years. I have never seen anything like this. 30.
Hey guys, thank you so much. Whenever
Thank
I
you.
hear that, all these years later, I still get pumped up.
Yes.
That's good. Dr. Billy Taylor, we appreciate you taking the time out to come on. We hope to have you in the future. Hope to see you in the future.
Yes.
Yes, you take care of yourself. Have a blessed one. And go blue.
Thank you,
Yes.
my brothers. God bless you guys. Thanks for having me on.
No
And
problem.
take care. And check out. I'm gonna post some stuff on Facebook about the Mellow Men.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
We are unmatched on and off the field.
No doubt
Yes.
about it.
Take care. God bless. Go blue.
Go
Go blue.
blue.
God
Yes,
bless.
sir.
Wow.
Dr. Billy Taylor, man.
Wow.
Legend. That
Wow.
was great, man. That was a legendary.
just being in the living room with your uncle, man, and just giving the stories. And, it's a beautiful thing, man, that someone can overcome what he came and to be so successful. I mean, he was at the bottom of the bottom, Maze. You're talking about homeless, nowhere to live, right? Nothing. Right. You out there, anything can happen. And, he's drinking, the mentality is life is over, man. I don't care. And you know what? God said, no, I have a purpose for you. Now, again, to each his own, we just reiterating his story. And man, look what once that Holy Spirit spoke to him, 360, and he's became a wonderful man. So shout to Billy Taylor, Dr. Billy Taylor, Michigan legend, and it was just phenomenal to have him on, man.
That was great, man. I really enjoyed that.
Do you wanna we cut this and you wanna cook a quick call in for the
let's do it. Because I'm glad you brought this up. Because here we go. I put this together in a short time, real quick. Here we go.
Michigan fans are delusional. They think they're going to get away with one of those things added on. Are y'all crazy? These Michigan fans are insane. And anybody who agrees with them are insane.
They don't know exactly what's going to happen, but they don't feel good about it.
Oh boy,
man, oh man.
We're delusional. We have no clue about what's going to happen. We don't feel good about it. Look, here we go. Apparently, well, not even apparently, tomorrow, the NCAA will make public their punishment for the Michigan Wolverines. All right. Already, people like Buckeye Scoop and the Scoopers, Justin Shapiro, the Buckeye Boys, they're already backtracking and preparing their audiences for what is absolutely unequivocally not the hammer. And I think it's hilarious because all we heard for months now, for 2 damn years almost, is the hammer. Every week it was massive Michigan news, massive, our sources, massive, huge, massive, gigantic Michigan hammer was dropping on the University of Michigan football program. And unfortunately for them, the hammer is only this.
Stop. Hammer time.
This is as close to the hammer as they will ever see. Maniac, let's talk about it. How you feel?
Yeah, so look, I mean, it's no secret. I mean, if you're a Michigan fan or even a college football fan, you know about the Connor Stallions, whole Spygate, whatever you want to call it. It was the biggest story in college football, and it was for over a year. The consensus was that Michigan was only good because Connor Stallions, for some reason, knew the opposing opponent's plays. We knew every single play these teams played. Ran, every single one, right? Which is impossible to do, just impossible. But
right.
Okay, let's do that, right? That's what you said. Cool.
Right.
Then you got the Buckeye Scoop, right? Every week, 2 to 3 videos, massive.
Right.
News, massive. Now I get it. You an opposing, you play for the dirty team. You play
right.
for Ohio State. That's you podcast for them, right? But there got to be some kind of integrity in this, right? Like, because they got a big following. Let's call it like it is. They have a huge following. So at some point, it's cool to troll. It's cool maybe to lie a little, sprinkle in some little lies.
Right.
But every day all the time, telling you it's gonna happen. And not only is gonna happen, it's gonna be massive.
Massive.
And you know what? Tomorrow I'm gonna repeat the same thing. Massive. And the day before that, I'm gonna repeat the same thing. Massive, bro. Okay. Like, and now Justin Spiro, who they consider a credible source, who has been on the Buckeye Boys, who has been on Buckeye Scoop, came out a couple of days ago. It was on a Twitter space saying, hey, this ain't looking good.
By the way, I want it to be known, Maniac, that we invited Justin Spiro to come on to this channel several times. By the way, in the heat of this thing, like when the hammer was more of a possibility than it is now, right? We invited Justin Spiro on this show to talk to you guys live. We never got that done, but he's been over there several times, right? Feeling sorry for Ohio State, and you know, and we cheated, and it cost CJ Stroud a Heisman. It cost Ryan Day. If it wasn't for us, Ryan Day wouldn't have got death threats and these sorts of things. This is nasty, nasty work. It's nasty, and it's despicable for him to blame the University of Michigan for a despicable fan base threatening the life of their head coach and his family. No, it's their fault that they threatened that man's life. Not Michigan fans' fault. It's not Connor Stallions' fault. It's not Jim Harbaugh's fault. Those people threatened that man and his family. Those people, whoever by the way, I'm not one that condones the giving away of Justin Spiro's address or none of that. We don't believe in that. Like, you know, I think that's nasty work. And whoever did that is a nasty person, and he or she deserves whatever comes to them. But I want to be clear, very clear, that Justin Spiro and Buckeye Scoop and Kirk Barton and all of those people, B. Moses, you know, shout out to B. Moses, because I actually like that song that he did for the Buckeye Boys, and he's got some talent, but he's one of the scoopers. So no, take the shout out back. That, you know, all of these people were pushing a nasty narrative, right? Nasty narrative about Michigan taking away somehow the glory of the other state, and Justin Spiro was frontlining for that, and he's not even a fan of that school. And it's nasty work, and they deserve what they get. And before you go, Maniac,
Michigan fans are delusional. They think they're going to get away with one of those things added on. Are y'all crazy? These Michigan fans are insane, and anybody who agrees with them are insane.
They don't know exactly what's going to happen, but they don't feel good about it.
It's a beautiful thing. By the way, I expected this record coming our way from B. Moses. But go ahead, Maniac.
Yeah. No. So, you know, on top of that, right? Let's speak Spiro, right?
Right.
Hey, you know, I mean, you know, I'm so jealous of you guys. Like, I wish I was an Ohio State fan. That shit, that's A1 weirdo behavior. You're a Michigan State fan. Your team resides in the Big Ten. In fact, when Dan Antonio was the coach, he probably stopped Urban Meyer from winning another national championship. So at one time, Michigan State was very relevant in the Big Ten, and they were putting in work, right? So not to say you're jealous, you wish you was an Ohio State fan, and you guys are the victim. You guys are the victim. Victim of what? Victim of losing? Victim of being bullied in the trenches? Because that's what happened.
Right.
So you telling me, Maze, that the game was a one-possession game late in the fourth quarter, but we cheated? You stacked the box because you knew the run was coming, and we run Donovan Edwards, and he breaks it twice. But we cheated?
Right.
Come on, man. At some time, as an Ohio State fan, I get it. Because if it was the opposite, I would want the hammer to drop for you guys. But I'm a realist at the end of the day. I'm going to call it like it is. Y'all got to stop it. You know damn well. And then if you need any proof further, you lost to Davis Warren. Bro,
Right.
that's it. That's mic drop right there. Losing to Davis Warren.
That's a fact. Shout out to West Quiet. West Quiet, call in when you get a chance. But we got my guy Mike Legend with us right now. We got Troy with us. How you guys feeling?
Feeling wonderful, man.
By the way, Troy, what'd you think about the interview?
Man, I had to admit, man, I teared up a couple times, man, because my dad would have loved to have seen this. Dr. Billy Taylor was one of his,
Favorite players?
Yeah, and my dad is no longer with us, and that was just great to see, man. Great to see him, talking and walking and doing everything that he's doing now, and at his advanced age, and it was beautiful, man.
Yes, sir. Glad that we can bring that full circle like that, and for people like you to get something out of that. Mike Legend, how'd you like it?
That was straight fire, man.
Appreciate it.
Bringing this content.
Appreciate you.
Like, share, subscribe, get that word out there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. G Boulder is in the. Look at G Boulder trying to be a bucket boy.
Hey, look,
Bucket boy.
hey, West Quad, man, I'm telling you, it's all good, bro. My partner, Big U, gone, man. I ain't gonna be looking for you for that little change, West Quad, man.
He said you can get on the payment plan, Quad.
West Quad said, I ain't, man, no. West Quad, whether take a chance with a hammer.
Well, look, man. Speaking of which, how we feeling, man? So far, is it going to be a Mickey Mouse hammer? There's still a possibility. I want to know what the chat got to say right here. The panel. G, Troy, Mike, talk to us.
All right,
I think the worst is over. I absolutely think that I think that when the dude finally stepped up, the commissioner finally stepped up and said something, that added a lot to it, because at the end of the day, Michigan is money for everybody, for the NCAA, everybody. I think they had some behind the scenes talks and was like, look, let's put, if you're going to give Sharon another game, we'll give y'all fucking a couple $1 million, but let's let this ride. We're on our way back up. Because once this is over,
oh yeah,
watch how the next 2 recruiting classes gonna go. Watch this shit drop. It ain't no Michigan is fucking back, fellas.
That's for sure. Troy, what are your thoughts on the hammer, if there will be one?
Well, by all accounts, everything is as everybody's been saying, is pretty much over. I know the fine is coming. That was about the most certain thing that we know is coming.
Right.
The show causes for Harbaugh and for Connor Stallions, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think the only thing that's in real question is how many games are will they try to extend or change for Coach Moore.
Right.
That's the only thing that I'm really concerned about.
Mike Legend, what do you think about the hammer?
I think they've been pushing it off, trying to get some sort of evidence that would be the hammer, right?
Right.
They didn't find any.
Right.
And guess what? They got to bring an end.
Yeah.
I know what I really thought too. I really thought that they was prolonging it and make sure Harbaugh get that show call so he won't try to flip back and come back. I think they was making sure that wasn't a step away and come back. And now he doing good. Sharon Moore doing good. I mean, what could you really say with the evidence that we know or that's presented to us? Like, what could you really do?
I still think Harbaugh gets another show cause from this.
Yeah.
He and Connor Stallions.
But he ain't coming back.
Exactly.
No.
It's academic at this point. He's good doing what he's doing. He's already going down as, you know, one of the more legendary coaches in Michigan history. It's just, it is what it is at this point. Brett, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good. How about you guys?
Doing great. What are your thoughts on what's going on?
It's a total witch hunt, like it was from day one. It was, as Troy said, it was to get Jim Harbaugh out of here. That's all it was. Because truthfully, I think in my eyes, if Harbaugh's here right now, Michigan could easily rattle off 2, possibly 3 in a row national championships. Who would stop them? Ohio State can't beat them. There's nobody else in the Big Ten that could stop them. Maybe besides Oregon. But with Jim Harbaugh, he would have easily figured out Dan Lanning in the second half.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
I don't listen. Last year's team, I'm not sure that that's a national championship winning team because of the quarterback situation. But I get what you're saying.
Well, I think there's a thing I was going to say too. I think if Harbaugh returns, JJ comes back as well.
That's a possibility. That's a possibility. Yeah.
I think that's a slim.
I think if it's a slim possibility. There's no doubt about it. But if Harbaugh comes back, JJ probably goes, you know what? I should probably come back for one more year just to help my stats and maybe even be a number 1 pick, number 1 pick again.
Yeah. All that's possible. Dexter Green brings up a great point here. Jim Harbaugh brought up revenue sharing, a couple years ago. And I don't think that people like that, specifically people at the NCAA, right?
Yeah, true.
Now, the crazy part is Jim Harbaugh just happened to be, Nostradamus, because look where we are now, right? Revenue sharing is here. It's a real thing. It's going to happen. It is happening, right? So maybe Jim Harbaugh should be revered in the sense of what he, laid the groundwork for. And I'm not saying he's the first coach that did this or whatever, but he was certainly the loudest voice.
Yeah. No, definitely. And look, man, at the end of the day, this was just football stuff, right? What Matt Weiss did, that was some scumbag shit, kind of stylish. And let's be honest here, right? Let's just be right here neutral. So according to these people, what he did was he sent people to record, right? Record the other sidelines, an opponent's sidelines. So where's the proof? I'm just speaking. Maybe someone. Where's the proof that film, he was using it to gain the advantage? Because you can't use electronics on the sidelines. So there's no, like cell phones. So there's no proof of him doing that. So how is he relating this? He had a laminated sign, which is legal to have. So that's not legal. So explain to me, how was it that he was knowing every single play? Like, nobody's making sense of it. He cheated. He went there. He said, okay, cool. Now let me know. That's like, he murdered him because he went in that direction. Okay, but you got to give me the proof. How did he do it? Where? You just can't say it. I need to see it. Show me that proof, and I'm going to shut the bleep up.
Well, the thing is, it's much easier to say they cheated than to accept reality, right? The reality of them losing 4 straight games to Michigan, the reality of, poor little bro and them being in the situation that they're in, the reality of an undefeated Michigan championship run in 23, 3 straight Big Ten champions, the only team to do that, by the way.
Yes.
3 straight trips to the CFP. So it's much easier to, blame, they cheated, than to accept the fact that Michigan made wholesale changes. Look, as much as they can say that this thing turned around when apparently Connor Stallions got there, we can say it turned around when they got rid of Don Brown. We can say it turned around when they hired, Mike McDonald. you know, all of these things, we could point to those things as bigger influences in the outcomes of these games and the turnaround than, you know, some, you know, maybe he knew a player or two. You know what I mean?
I got one question. I got one, and maybe I missed it. Maybe it sounds. What made somebody start looking for Connor Stallions in the stands? Like, how did it even come? Like, what would make it's 100,000 fans? Like, how did it even get put in a spotlight? I mean, I might have missed that part.
Yeah, he was so apparently there was someone caught wind of it from within the university. Right, there was a whistleblower. It wasn't Ryan Day's brother, none of that. It was someone within the Michigan University who went and said, listen, this guy is doing things that he shouldn't be doing. And once they start looking deep into it, they was like, oh. So the argument has been, okay, which rule did he break and how far did he go? We're still there. We don't know this. There hasn't been. Now, tomorrow, they should shed some light on it. Exactly. What was it that why he's guilty of? Because again, because all we heard, right? Michigan knew, it's easy to win when you know your opponent's plays. Okay. So how was it that Connor Stallions was relating these plays? How he knew every single play, bro? That's impossible. Then you got to relate that. Mays mentioned it too. Now you got to relate that to your defense. 11 guys on the roll. Crowd. Yo, they running. Why does he talk? Come on, man. Like, you can't be that stupid, man.
Yeah.
But not even that. They said that they knew about it well in advance of when they brought it out, right? So they informed the other teams. Who the fuck? Mays, I got 10 dudes finna go to Maniac house and rob him. Is Maniac, he noticed, is Maniac finna be sitting there with his front door unlocked? Oh, come on, man, get the fuck up. Like, how that don't lie.
By the way, Troy, I've noticed you put your bucket on too. Everybody's bucket boys today.
He going to the vault. He going to the vault.
Oh, you know he got something in the stash.
The last few times I've been on here, you know, I've been accused of wearing the other state's colors and all that kind of stuff. So
I saw that red you had on last time.
Yeah. I almost blocked you off the channel, Troy. My bad.
Look at that, man. I see you, Mike.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He went old school on us. Went throwback with the Adidas joint on us. Okay.
Throw that in the garbage.
I know no one likes Adidas.
Hey, y'all see Tennessee just went back to
I saw that. We're definitely getting Savion Hyder now.
Let them have the Adidas curse. We had it for a while. It's their turn now.
Yeah, I agree. No, man.
Savion Hyder is definitely a Wolverine on the 19th.
And then when we look at the bigger picture, right? Connor Stallions, he did a documentary, right? Everyone saw it. He's been going on podcasts, doing interviews. So he has nothing to hide. He's not hiding from nothing, right? Because that would be the other thing. Oh, but if he didn't do nothing, why he doesn't appear on podcasts and just talk about it? Because he's guilty, Now he does it. Oh, he's just trying to justify why. So it's always going to be a lose-lose. Yeah. I'm just telling you guys, if it's what I'm expecting it to be, the trolling I'm going to do, especially on that Sunday show, on Johnny's show, I'm going to bring the apron out. Literally the apron, right? Because I got my Michigan apron. I got my Michigan apron here.
Let's go.
I got my, I got my backpack. You know what I go around.
Michigan.
Listen. The cold part is I'm not even at home. This is my road shit. You know, I got you already seen my stuff at my house. I'm in a whole other state. This is my road travel stuff.
Oh yeah, I forgot that they on tonight. Which is probably why we got 49 people in here.
I got a blanket behind me that's a full length picture of Michigan Stadium.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? If we want to go blow for blow for I got one of those. But I want to do a little bit of what my man did the other night when he was talking about what we should have in our tool bag.
Yeah.
As a point to mess with those. Okay.
What is that?
All right.
That look like Eno Etta. Maybe that's Johnson. Oh shit, those look like autographs all for the spring.
Fire.
Oh, here we go.
Okay, I can't match that. I can't match that.
I ain't gonna pull my jacket out. They saw my jacket at the spring game. I ain't gonna pull my jacket out.
Yeah, that was fire.
Okay. All right. But we all know that cheating did not, dominate the line of scrimmage and toss, 2 long touchdown passes in one game and my man run up, for over he's still running, Donovan Edwards is still running. I mean this like the Maniac said, it's insane to be talking all this junk and you got physically dominated.
Right.
Physically dominated. So it's they can't tell me nothing.
5 touchdowns, Hassan Haskins.
Yeah.
5 touchdowns in 21. Don't talk to me about vacated wins in 21. By the way, that was your worst defense in forever, right? And we took advantage of it, point blank. That's it.
Right.
You the dude, what's the quarterback? CJ Stroud still threw for like 1,000,000 yards. But it just wasn't enough. It didn't matter because of what we were doing to them. Physically, we were dominating both lines of scrimmage, and that's been the story for the last 4 years. Dominate the trenches, run the football, play good defense.
So watch this. I'm gonna give y'all one better. Since we knew to play the Ohio State, that's the first time I ever said that shit. Gotta get some stuff. But I remember watching Aiden Hutchinson tell that dude, I'm coming right at you. And what did he do? He knew it was coming and he just couldn't stop it. So it's it don't matter if you know what's coming, you gotta stop it. So they can say
and also, right, as a fan, be neutral. Michigan didn't do nothing special. We were a run-heavy team. Majority of the time, you knew Michigan was going to run the ball. So I don't understand. People act like JJ was throwing for 6 touchdowns every game. Like, damn, how you just throwing for so many touchdowns? It's like he knows what the defense is doing. No, we stuck to who we were. We did nothing special. We ran the ball, and the good thing, JJ, was he was clutch. 3rd down, he was the master. He was a Jedi. And that's that, man. And we ran the ball. Everybody knows that. Listen, like you mentioned, Mace, in that 21 defense, guess what happened? What did Ohio State do to their DC after that season? They fired them.
Right.
They didn't fire them just only because of the Michigan game. That defense that whole year was getting fried. Right? Their rush defense was horrible. Oh, but Michigan cheated because they was doing what every other team was doing to them that
year. If Michigan, so we're talking about 21, right? If Michigan cheated, why they go and blow a 2 or 3 score lead in East Lansing that year? If they were really if they were really cheating, that game would have been over by halftime.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Yeah,
listen,
they'll come up with some way. But you know what? No. Keep the same energy. We cheated. We knew all they plays. How they were able to beat us. But it's denial, man. It's the only way. See, Ohio State fans are sore losers and sore winners, right? So to them, that 16 out of 17 against Michigan is what most of these OSU fans know. They like in their 20s. I'm 43 years old. I saw the 90s in real time, so I'm good. I seen us whoop their ass. So to them, Michigan winning those many games, now something got to give. Ain't no way they could beat us. And once that kind of stallions, you see, I knew it. There's no way they were better than us.
I want to point something out, something that I've been saying from the beginning since the start of this whole thing. And that was follow the money, right? Here's the skinny of it, ladies and gentlemen. The networks between NBC, Fox, and CBS paid upwards of $1 billion to secure the Big Ten media rights, right? The driving force for Big Ten viewership are Michigan, and especially at that time, Michigan and Ohio State, right? To a lesser degree, there was Penn State, and maybe, regionally, Nebraska's a big deal. They used to be a national big deal, but to a lesser degree. Now you have USC and Oregon that can drive some viewership too, but not like Michigan and Ohio State. With the year that Michigan won the national championship, the same thing that happened to Ohio State last year happened to Michigan. Fox had Michigan on a boatload of those big noon kickoff games, right? The difference is we didn't cry about it. We still watched our team play football because that's what you do. And you know why Fox did that? Because they wanted the viewership. Now you look, last year, Ohio State was projected to be the top team, and they weren't necessarily the top team in the Big Ten, but whatever, they ended up winning the national championship. They drove viewership. Michigan was never going to get the death penalty, and without a smoking gun anyway. And with a smoking gun, I mean, Connor Stallions would have had to have a production team in the opposing stadiums with signs saying, "We're here on behalf of Jim Harbaugh and the Michigan Wolverines," to get that sort of penalty that everybody was talking about. It was never going to happen because you have to follow the money. These people were never going to let Michigan get punished the way that the world thought that they would. Not even the world. Michigan State and Ohio State fans thought that they would. It was never going to go down that way. And now they're sitting there looking silly, talking about, oh, but they got, Connor Stallion's mother at the game and blah, blah, blah. Like, so what, bro? I don't care who went to those games. If it wasn't what I just told you it was, like, it would have had to have been like, Netflix production style with those signs for Michigan to get the death penalty that they all wanted, and that was never going to happen.
I agree with all that.
Go ahead, Mike.
The one thing, they still want to stick it to Harbaugh. They can't, so they're going to stick it to somebody.
That's fair.
I think that has more to do
Sharon is still part of that coaching staff. He's the only one left. Clink, Jesse, and
Sharon's going to get suspended, whether it's the 2 games that Michigan, and listen, if Sharon Moore, and I've said this too, and whatever, if Sharon Moore has to get suspended 6 games for this to be behind us, then so be it. Michigan will be okay. Brett, go ahead.
And like you said, his mother was at the game. If people actually did their research, like Michigan State fans and the people from Ohio, they would have known his parents are season ticket holders.
Well, they were apparently at away games that Michigan wasn't part of. That's the thing. So they were at like Wisconsin versus Michigan State. Yeah.
Well, maybe they wanted to see them play.
Exactly, right? Who's to say that's not the real deal? Yeah.
I do that. When I lived in Kalamazoo, when Western would play on like a Wednesday during action, $10 ticket. Yeah, of course I went. Why not? It's college football.
Right.
Yeah, man.
My guy E was good. E, can you hear us? Oh no. All right, but anyway.
Portal.
E in the portal, man. I don't know. West Quad said he hoping big. What up, though?
E, talk to us.
Man, I'm just listening right now, man.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Let me do that.
No doubt.
And I mean, wouldn't it be stupid of Michigan, right, to get all these recruits they've been getting, right? Dropping the bag on all these recruits, top
Right.
recruits, to know that, you know what, we're going to get a 3-year bowl ban, you know, this hammer's dropping, then you know they're going to leave. That's like buying a bunch of property, investing all this money, and knowing you're going to do like 5 years in prison.
Right.
It just don't make sense, bro. If you got nobody to run it for you. So I think that's another thing. If Michigan kind of knew, I don't think they would be that aggressive in recruitment, honestly.
Absolutely. And by the way, they're like you said, they're recruiting like nothing's gonna happen. And by the way, kids are committing like nothing is going to happen.
Correct.
The tea leaves were already on you know, the clues were out here, bro. Nothing was ever going to happen to Michigan, at least to the degree that, you know, these other fans of these other programs thought.
Because I'm pretty sure most of us here are parents, right?
Right.
If my child is getting recruited by Michigan and I want him to go there, guess what I'm gonna ask them? Hey, listen, let's address the elephant in the room.
Right.
What's the situation going on? I want my son to compete for national champions. Mr. Roman, don't worry about that. We could pretty much promise you we're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
You told me. Because I'm pretty sure that's what the parents are saying. They have to be asking.
For sure. Yeah. So with that said, right now that, because trust me, I'm gonna be unbearable after tomorrow, in terms of our friends to the south and poor little bro them. I'm sure I'm gonna get banned from a couple of their pages and things like that. But with that said, the pointing and laughing has to happen now. We have to, because for a year plus, we've dealt with all of you guys saying the hammer, the hammer, the hammer. That's all we've heard. Big, what's good, E? And now it's the rabbits got the gun, if you will. And it's our turn. So prepare yourself.
Yeah.
Like, the national media has always been biased towards Michigan. I mean, how many times we should have been ranked number 1? I think I'll take number 2, but we're lower in the ranking.
Right.
Despite all the Ohio State bias, why are you even giving them the time of day? Don't even mention their name. They didn't earn any of that.
Right.
Like, you know, don't give them the time. They ain't worth it. They can say what they want to say because they're trash. And that's what they're going to do, is talk trash.
Look, what one still believes. Hold on to hope, sir.
Oh, buddy, you better get the tissues ready, and you better get a case of 24, pack of something, and take a quick trip to your local place and hide out for a while, because it's going to be a bad weekend for you, my friend.
He said, "Don't go live while I'm at work." 2:30 Central. Look, man.
Give him the link. Give him the link.
The problem is, yeah. Let me. The problem is, tomorrow is my daughter's birthday. I was planning to be off tomorrow. Well, I'm off, but not do a show tomorrow. But obviously, if this happens, I'm gonna have to make my way to these YouTube streets for at some point. But yeah,
it's gonna be the streets are gonna be crowded tomorrow in the YouTube streets.
Oh, you know it.
Some Buckeye channels just so I can go troll.
What we drinking? What we drinking? E. Oh, this like some Coney or something.
A bit of Jameson, man.
Okay, okay.
Ain't nothing wrong with some good old Irish whiskey.
No doubt. Here we go. 9 title Buckeye. What's good?
My guys. Hey, listen. I'm here. You know what I mean? Everybody else ran and hide. Look at them. There's no Buckeyes here. I'm the only one standing in the paint. Look at this. When y'all laughed at us, y'all said we was going to get beat to Smithers. We said we was going to lose every playoff game. Y'all said we was going to lose, and we won. Now I'm the only one that's going to stand in the paint and say, I wish I had a hammer. I ain't got no hammer. But it's coming, okay? I still have faith, even though I don't really believe it, but I don't really care. At this point, I don't care. But
Michigan fans are delusional. They think they're going to get away. of those things added on. Are y'all crazy? These Michigan fans are insane. And anybody who agrees with them are insane.
They don't know exactly what's going to happen, but they don't feel good about it. And there's been...
All right, that's cool. That's cool. I expect this. I expect all the jokes. I'm not mad.
This is just a warm up.
Yeah. Oh, y'all would be 100% right to talk as much stuff as y'all want because they've been screaming it. So hey, listen, I'm not mad at it. But if you boys are wrong,
we'll be here.
Oh, but if you boys are wrong, it'll be epic.
Listen,
either way, it's going to be epic.
Oh, it's going to be epic.
Right. I'm good.
We can't listen, man. We've been here. Look, and first of all, as far as Ohio State, the only game I picked y'all to lose in the playoff was Tennessee. After that, I picked y'all to beat everybody else. But anyway, back to the topic at hand.
Yeah, I lived in Columbus for 10 years. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. So look, it
does not matter. Whatever you say, whatever happens, be some version, flip the script, some kind of excuse. You can't go to they're irrational. That's why I don't try.
I mean, I can respect you coming up on here.
Yeah. I give you some respect for that, for sure.
I don't know. To be perfectly honest, I'm I love it's Buckeyes all day, but to be perfectly honest, I don't know why they're so upset if it doesn't happen. Like, I don't know why they put all the eggs in the basket. Like, you know what I mean? We don't have no control of what the NCAA does. Like,
because this is the only way, bro. Like, listen, you Ryan Day has been thoroughly beaten psychologically. He can't beat Michigan right now. He needs this to happen.
I don't think that Ryan Day himself is wanting this to happen, but I could be wrong, man. At the end of the day, I could be wrong. But
you know what it is? It's a lot of your fan base, right? And it's like I said, it's a sore loser fan base. Like using an excuse, like if you watch football, if you know football, you could tell Joe Clapp. Joe Clapp played for Colorado. He didn't go to Michigan. He got no Michigan ties. Spears, Brady Quinn, so many Griffin. All these players, none of them play for Michigan, none of them play for Ohio State, and they all say the same thing. Deion Sanders, head coach, one of the greatest, if not the greatest cornerback of all time. Greatest. And people constantly say the same thing, but it's Ohio fans. They holding on to that shit like a newborn baby, like a winning lotto ticket. They like, hell no, they cheated, and that shit is played out. It's like a little kid. That's what little kids do in the playground. You cheated, you're a cheater. Now come on, you're a grown man. You eat that. Say, yo, you know what? Listen, if the hammer happen, cool. If it don't, I don't care. We gotta play football because look what we did last season to Ohio State.
Right.
And albeit y'all got the bragging rights. So I mean, there's really nothing I can say about that. But you know what I mean? At the end of the day, that's how the rivalry goes. But this year we'll spank y'all. That's what I'm supposed to say. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? I get it. But at the end of the day, man, I really cannot wait till tomorrow for real. Because it's going to be funny either way. Like I
13-10.
Yeah, and that's fine. And I'll say what 7-0, or you know what I mean. We can go numbers for numbers. 20 out of
the 2010s are over.
But
the 2010s are over.
That's recent,
it's still a number I can say.
Recent, right now.
Urban's not walking through that door anymore.
We'll see.
I got a quick question for you.
4-game losing streak as it stands right now. So we're not bringing the past. We're talking about what it is right now.
Well, I mean, what if we go back to back? Y'all gonna like that?
Nah.
Of course not. I hate this one.
Back to back.
All right, go ahead, Troy. What's your question?
I got a question for you. Did you enjoy the interview tonight?
Which interview? I didn't catch it.
Come on, man. We got a Michigan legend on here, man.
No, my bad. I was doing work. I'm sorry, man.
No doubt. We ain't gonna hold that against you.
Nah, don't hold that against me. I missed it. What was the interview though?
It was touchdown Billy Taylor, Dr. Billy Taylor, a Michigan legend.
Show him the highlight. Show him the highlight.
Yeah, let me see the highlight. I'll watch it. I'll watch it.
You know.
Call it what you will. Wide to the right is Bo Rather. It's Taylor deep and Cyphers close. Larry Sippa under center in a balanced line. Sippa rolls out to the right. Pitches off to Taylor, and Taylor's to the 20. Down to the 15, down to 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Touchdown, Billy Taylor! Touchdown, Billy Taylor! Billy Taylor scored a touchdown from 21 yards out. The crowd goes berserk. Michigan leads 9-7. Old man Euchre's been broadcasting for 27 years. I have never seen any.
Beautiful thing. One guess on who he scored that touchdown on.
Yeah.
Doesn't really matter. I was nowhere even thought of being born. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it is what it is. Billy Taylor, shout out Billy Taylor, man.
Absolutely.
I had just been born, I believe.
But he mentioned that Woody did recruit him in the interview. He said the reason why he said it was between Michigan and Ohio State because he lived in the state of Ohio. And he said that, Woody was just talking football. He had one hell of a practice. And he said his mother's a Christian. So she heard that word. And, he didn't mean it in a literal sense. He just talked, and she was like, nah.
Nope. All your best players come from Ohio anyway. So, I mean, that's not nothing. Not nothing
you know what? Hey, that's fine because it pisses you guys off and that makes us even more happy.
No, not me. It just
because they want to because they want to defect, and you can't blame them. There's nothing to do there.
Truth be told, Bryce Underwood might be the greatest player in Michigan history.
Hey, listen, I'm in a precarious position here because I gotta defend Ohio a little bit. Well, actually, I don't gotta defend Ohio.
You don't
know what? Get him out of here.
It's just the truth, man. But hey, I just wanted to come on here because I was going to just keep putting hammers in the chat, but I ain't feel like doing that all day. But
no doubt, man. Hey, I appreciate you, bro, and respect you coming up, man.
Yo, for sure.
Yes,
take care, man.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, I do got to get out of here. Yeah. I got a lot of prep to do for tomorrow. But I appreciate each and every one of you. My guy E popped up today. West Quad about to be upset because he didn't make it to the call-in before he got to the house. Troy, you are a legend, sir. Mike Legend, you already know. G hopped down, but he's also a legend. Brett, by the way, Brett, how's it? Have you started your job yet?
Nope. First night game.
Okay, cool. So you're gonna be there for New Mexico?
Yep.
Absolutely. E, what was you saying?
Here tonight.
Yes, sir. I don't know what he kind of halfway in the portal.
It's breaking up. E.
Before we hop off here, if you guys are going to be at the first game, hop over the section 34. I'm going to be an usher this year. Come on and say hi before the game starts.
Absolutely, man. We'll keep that in mind for sure. All right, man. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. You know the slogan. Till next time. Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, this might be our best season ever. My ratings, they're about to go through the roof.
All right, now I'ma calm down. So I just don't get that all that mace and that lock and all that puff. I just don't get it. So and how the
my God, we're shutting the damn live down. Good night, everybody.